Because you're episode 3 to do what you want to do. You gotta live your life. Do what you want to do. Episode 3.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Who sung that originally? Was it
you're episode 3? I don't know.
Entrance or something?
Could be.
No, it's not Entrance.
No. But it's one word. Have a Google or a Bing or a Yahoo or however you search your.
Ultranate.
Because you're free.
Ultranate
to do what
Williams.
you want to do. You got to live your life. Sorry. Hey, it's Boxing Day! Way!
Way! Happy Boxing Day!
Happy Boxing Day! Merry Christmas! Way!
Merry Christmas! Full disclaimer: we are recording this a few weeks before Boxing Day, so we hope this is actually coming out on Boxing Day, and you're listening to this happy, full of turkey. Because we're stupid, we are going to talk about things that are pre-Christmas, even though you're going to listen to this post-Christmas or during Christmas. But you know what? That's half the fun.
It is.
It's like a nice little time capsule going back to a few weeks ago.
Time capsule to remind yourselves of life before Christmas. But it's our known Christmas party, isn't it?
It is. What we're doing, Williams?
And what does that mean? That means festive first. And for those that listened to the last episode, I've still not changed my setup, so excuse me whilst I try to get to the festive first fridge.
Trying to get to the fridge, making it look much more awkward than it needs to. I'm going to Williams, because I have a can ready to open for our Christmas party. While you're searching for your beer, I'm going to see if I can get the sound effect.
No, it's not. It's a firsty.
It's the same thing I always drink. Yes, Whitewater Brewery from Northern Ireland.
So, firsty first. Bum, bum, bum.
What have we got, Wowls?
This is not the first time I've had the brewing company, but it's definitely the first time I've had this one. So this is a, I don't know if you can see that. This is from the brewing company Neon Raptor, and it's called Carol.
And it's got a Christmas Carol guy on the front.
And it must be linked to something that I'm not too sure of the cultural reference. Do you know the reference? You're more up to date with cultural things than I am.
I have zero idea what that is.
It's a red label. It's a chap that looks like he's at an office Christmas party. He's got his tie on. He's got a cigarette in his fingers, wearing a Christmas hat. It's called Carol with an exclamation mark. Carol. It's an IPA. It's a 6.6%.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's brewed in Nottingham.
Oh, nice. Our old stomping ground.
Our old stomping ground. And it says, a ho, 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 and day, bo, bo to you. Carol in HR. Sorry. No, Carol in HR supplied us with lashings of Idaho 7, Uconot, Mosaic Cryo, and Nelson Salvin hops.
There you go. That's why it's called Carol, obviously.
It sounds like poisonous chemicals to me. For elements of mango, lime, and gooseberry.
You've drank worse. Get it in your wells. Let's see what it's like.
So here we go. Let's have a little.
Just a note, Williams, to listeners.
When Williams was, it's pungent.
Has it got a smell?
Yeah.
When he reads the label, listeners, he does it one eye closed, one eye open, as if he's looking at a dictionary or the Britannia encyclopaedia. Nope, just the label of the beer.
I was a Grolier man when I was a kid.
A Grolier man?
Yes.
What's a Grolier?
Grolier. So Grolier. So you said Britannica.
Mm-hmm.
So Grolier were the competitors.
Okay.
Grolier, I think.
But you do like to be different, don't you?
And we had a salesperson that came round to sell the encyclopedia books.
Wow. See, we had this is a blast from the past. We had Encarta.
We couldn't afford it all, so we just got the letter B. No.
like the episode of Friends with Joey. Yeah. I never read an encyclopedia, but I remember our school had an RM Nimbus PC with a CD-ROM.
Yes,
and
I think
it had Encarta, the Encarta digital encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Which at the time was
Before
just
the
mind
internet,
blowing.
it's like so much information on CD
and videos. You could watch videos on the computer. Wow, this is just unbelievable. From a CD, it's the future today.
It's the future. And if all quids in, we can like release an update CD next year, and then the internet came along.
30-year plan was there.
So I've just poured it. It's quite a very light number.
Looks lovely. What's the verdict?
Yeah, nice. It's refreshing. Doesn't taste very alcoholic.
6.6%. You got to be careful with that.
But it doesn't taste. Oh, a bit of a to it. Yeah.
I love how serious he takes this, listeners. He's like, oh yeah, he's like, getting around his chops, making the noises.
Could you imagine if I actually had some decent vocab for these reviews?
It's very, it's very beery. It's
yeah, nice. I mean, I would. I feel like I'm becoming. It might be more of my age. I'm becoming more of a darker beer man.
Yes.
Because it's been branded as a Christmas beer. Carol.
What makes it Christmassy?
Carol and the man with a Christmas hat.
Just the label, basically.
Just the label. So that's kind of putting me off a bit. I'm like, Christmas has got to taste like Christmas.
Yeah.
Like the sticky toffee pudding that tastes like Christmas pudding on the previous episode. So that's going to knock it down. And I know you wanted number of gnome fingers out of 10.
How many
Even
fingers?
Even though gnomes have 11 fingers, but
gnomes have 11 fingers.
They do.
Well, then let's do it out of 11 if that's what it is.
No.
How many?
Well, it's not worth 11. So it's not even worth talking about.
Well, how many out of 11 would you give it?
I would 6.5.
6.5 out of 11 fingers.
Yeah, 6.5.
We won't be purchasing
I like the Carol more than. But no, it's nice. It is nice. But I want something a bit more Christmassy. First looks. So, this is not a new thing. I mean, if anything, it's millions of years old, probably. But as listeners are probably aware, and you definitely are, Mr. Hodgkiss, Cornwall's an odd place.
Oh, very odd place. Beautiful and beautifully odd.
I like to think I know quite a bit about Cornwall. But it keeps outstanding me. It keeps
outstanding you.
Keeps what's the word? It keeps surprising me and keeps me on my toes, and it keeps enlightening me.
All 6 of them.
11. It keeps.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, every day Cornwall just gives you a little surprise and something new that I didn't realise.
Oh, I'm looking
forward
to it.
I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, and just on the socials, and you get these random videos that pop up based on your algorithms or whatever. So, your Star Wars strippers and all this other stuff that pops up in your algorithms, and listen back to season 1 if you haven't already, listeners. But something popped up about Cornwall. Oh, it's about Cornwall. Let's have a little watch this video. And I didn't realise, and this is a fact you might even know yourself, and I still can't get my head around how it happens. But Cornwall rises up and down with the tide. It actually goes up and down with the tide. So,
okay, explain.
Yeah. So, due to the tide, so Devon and Cornwall, they move up and down by 10 to 15 centimeters twice a day.
Wow!
So, when the tide rises around the peninsula, so because there's so many caves and tunnels and things that go underneath,
you're buoyant.
So yeah. So which I just didn't realise. So when the tide rises on the coast, it has the effect of compressing the. I'm reading this from the blurb, but it has the effect of compressing the land and pushing it down. And this wasn't really known until, a little while ago, but 2003, which is quite recent, really.
Yeah.
So in 2003, a survey by Dr. Matt King, who was working on the project, he said the Cornish coast has the biggest tides in Britain, which result in it having the biggest bounce. So when the tide rises, the weight of water on the continental shelf around Cornwall increases, and the county sinks into the Earth's crust.
Wow.
So then, and according to Dr. King, when the tide goes out, the weight lifts off and Cornwall bounces back up.
And do they call it the Cornwall Bounce?
Well, they don't call it the Cornwall Bounce. They could do. Why not? Let's call it the Cornwall Bounce. Yeah.
Give it a brand.
So apparently the survey is using American satellites to map the movements around 30 different stations all over Britain, measuring all the shifts to the nearest millimetre. And so far, the biggest bounce has been recorded in Redriff and Camborne, the southwest ground station.
Nice.
With bounces measuring more than 4 inches.
Well, Williams, 4 inches in Redruth. I'm not going to say that's standard.
4 inches is massive.
4 inches it's a pretty good bounce, I've heard. 4 inches is
a
good
very big bounce.
Hashtag good bounce.
Isn't that crazy? So literally, we're just bouncing up and down every day.
Very slowly, but still.
Well, yeah, but per day, that's quite quick, really, isn't it? 4 inches. You think how big 4 inches is?
It's massive.
And it all going up and down by 4 inches every day. That's
up 4 inches and down 4 inches twice a day.
Yeah, up and down, up and down.
Up and down and up and down on 4 inches.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But I thought that was really interesting. It might just be me, but
it genuinely is interesting. You wouldn't think that. You just assume that the land just continues and joins the seabed. You wouldn't think there was that much hollow space underneath it that it would actually rise up. So effectively, then, if we had a big enough saw, we could cut Cornwall off. Just cut it and push it into the sea, and it just float away. Amazing!
Wow! Wow, Mr. Hodgkiss. Well, so Cornwall is, I think I told you this before, but Cornwall is very different. So Cornwall actually is a lot of its...
It is very different, ladies and gentlemen. It is.
Because I told you before, we're slightly radioactive. So our minerals and...
Slightly radioactive.
We are. So radon. So all our minerals and rocks under Cornwall is very different than the rest of Britain. And it gives off a lot of radon, which is a radioactive...
Yes.
Thing. But... it matches closely to Brittany in France. And that's because you go back, scientists are writing and correct me, but if you go back 200,000 years, we were actually probably more likely connected to France.
Ooh la la.
And then we sort of, however it works, disconnected from it and then ended up connecting to the British Isles.
As the tectonic plates shifted,
yes.
Cornwall disconnected from France and became British.
Yeah. So we left France and we connected to Britain, and then we've just been bobbing up and down ever since. Moving on from 4 inches, tips.
Tips for dads. Tips for dads.
We've got
some tips for dads.
Get your tips out for the dad.
Yeah, so Williams, this week we are looking at tips for dads. As this is going on Boxing Day, we are looking for tips for dads who are struggling, shall we say, with family members. Just before we get into the tips, Wells, tell us, do you enjoy the family time at Christmas, or are you kind of more of a recluse and shut the door and leave me alone?
It depends if I've won the Christmas board game or not, really.
Is that it? What is the Christmas board game of choice?
Of my choice, that
if you
that
had
was
the
not
choice,
played
yes.
for the last 10 years, Monopoly.
Well, I suppose you have to be careful what you say, because your family listen to this podcast as well.
I'm not allowed to play Monopoly.
Why is that? Because you get angry?
Because I win.
Because you win?
Yes.
Is that because you're tight? And
I'm good at Monopoly.
How are you good at Monopoly? Is a game of chance?
My wife, she actually played Monopoly with me about 4 years ago now, but she referred to me as Donald Trump. Sorry, moving on. Tips for dads.
So, here's 3 tips for dads who are struggling with it all. So, don't overbook yourselves. A lot of the time, Williams, you get overbooked. You've got to say no to a few things.
You do.
It's not necessarily the people that you are seeing that breaks you. It's the volume of people you're having to see. And it's like, okay, on this day we'll go and see Auntie Pat. On that day we'll go and see Auntie Sandra. And the next day we'll go and see
Don't
Uncle
spread your
Smith.
joy thin.
No, because like it's nice to celebrate, but like most people kind of go out. That's why Fridays and Saturdays are good. You go out, have your good times, but you couldn't do it every night. No. So if you go spend a whole week just seeing people, it's lovely, but it's very much like ticking a box. And I'd suggest holding a party, have a party at your house or something, get it all over, done in one big blast. The other tip I would say is like if you struggle and you're a bit like, oh, no, I've got to go and see this person, and I've had this situation a few times where I'm like, oh, we've got to go and see such and such, and I just don't want to. You have to, because be a good person, but have a secret code word. So it's like if it's time to go, you can be like, we need to go and get some gravy. Yep, need to stop and remember to get some gravy, and the code word there would be gravy. Yeah, so it's like, okay, we need to make a move now. It's time to go. And one that I heard about was just, it's genius. It's one of those things like, no. But the guy who told me about it, I was like, I could actually see you doing this. He said he bought a foghorn one year, and he said as soon as it got like one of those ones where like a like one of those, like a big ass foghorn. So when someone's being a bit inappropriate or starting to talk about something that could say, just blew it, just blew the foghorn. I was just I love that as an idea. Like, I won't be bold enough to do it, but so those are the tips. Don't overbook yourselves. Have a secret code word and bring a foghorn.
And on to your first look, Mr. Hodgkiss.
Right. So my first look is probably the same first look I did last year. And it's probably the same first look I did the year before that. Because this time of year...
Well, you can have more than one first look because it's a first look.
Well, no, because it's the year's changed a while. So it's first look for this year.
Okay. So not celebrity.
Oh, no, I'm a Celebrity is fantastic. I have done that a couple of years in a row. But this one, it's all about... If I was to say to you, Wells, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This time of year,
that's Christmas. It's
that's
Boxing
Christmas.
Day. Where are we at? Who's still in on Boxing Day?
So the Ali Pali this year is shaping up to be one of the greats because there are so many players who could potentially cause an upset in Do It Wells. I have been watching, so I had a first look at a new show that they've released, a documentary called Game of Throws. It's on Sky Documentaries. It's a 3-part series and it follows the darts players last year at the 2023-2024 Ali Pali tournament. Yeah. And it's brilliant to get an insight into like just how normal darts players are. It's really good. So give it a like, give it a watch. But by Boxing Day now, we're getting into the last 32. We're getting into the real business because there's some good money in this tournament. The winner gets $500,000 this year, which is just crazy amounts of money for playing darts. Obviously, all the kind of
Littler's turned 18.
No, he's only 17. He'll be turning 18 in the new year, so he's still a kid. He was 6, maybe he's 18. I beg your pardon. He could
Yeah,
was he
I think
17
he
last
was-
year and he's turned 18? Yes.
But he was only just turned 17, so I don't know when his birthday is, but
I can find out. But anyway, he's a young man. He's a young man who looks old. That was the whole thing. It was like, he can't be that young. He's got a beard and a beer belly. He can't be that young. But he's had a good year this year. He actually won the Grand Slam in Wolverhampton. And he just seems to kind of step up when the pressure's on. It's like, okay, he can do it. And there's Luke Humphries, obviously, which is great. You can't look past the likes of Michael Smith and Michael Van Gerwen.
Luke Humphries being the champion.
Luke Humphries is the current champion, yes. So I am expecting this tournament to throw up a few surprises, to be full of fun. And I genuinely just love sitting and watching the darts for like 2.5 weeks. The end of it, once the tournament finishes, so like it's usually like January the 2nd or January the 3rd.
Darts is my Coca-Cola lorry. That's my... It's Christmas.
It's Christmas. The darts is on. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. It's. I genuinely look forward to it. Like I used to watch darts all the time. I don't watch anywhere near as much. I don't have the time to start.
I'm literally just Christmas. Get into it. I should watch this more. Then I don't.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That is exactly it. You're like, we could watch this throughout the year. There's the match play. There's the Premier League. You're like, yeah, I might tune in occasionally, but the darts, the Christmas darts, the Ali Pali, I'm like, no, I'm going to watch the whole tournament. I'm going to watch every single game. I don't care. There's a random guy from Belgium versus some random guy from Uzbekistan. I'm watching it because that guy from Uzbekistan is fucking awesome.
He could get to the final as well. Yeah,
he could do it. It's his year. So you just never know. So it's such a good fun tournament. So yeah, first look.
How's Michael Van Gerwen?
Out of form, pretty poor.
Yeah.
No, he's like the ones who are like Gerwin Price, who was good. He's kind of gone down. Rob Cross. There's some new blood coming through, Wells.
Yeah,
new blood's coming through. The old guard are they've been put on notice. I think some of the Peter Snakebite Wright is playing terribly, but then again you have people like Gary Anderson, who's kind of coming back into form and could come and win it. So, and you've always got the likes of Barton, who's great just to watch because it's like a bit of a legend. He's never going to win it, but you never know. It's always you never know who's going to cause an upset on the day he turns up and just beat somebody. But it's a great tournament. So first look at the Ali Pali. And by the time you listen to this, it could be coming towards the end. So here's my tips, Williams.
Your tips.
If I was a betting man, I'm going to go for the only person I'm going to put money on. There's only two, and it is the Lukes, Humphries and Littler. But
last year's final.
Last year's final, I think they're due to clash in the semi-finals this year if they get through. But I think one of those will win it. If someone said, go on, here's a tenner, put it on someone who's not those two, I'd be looking at Michael Smith or as an outside bet, Gary Anderson, because he's won it a couple of times before.
Gary.
You just never know. He could just come back and never bet against Gary Anderson at the Ali Pali.
And I keep saying one day I go Ali Pali, but then it's like, well, it's...
Have you never been?
No, but like Christmas.
You've never been like to the darts at Christmas at Ali Pali?
No.
Williams, we have to write this. Even like Leanne's been to the darts at Ali Pali at Christmas.
No, it's not, because it's quite difficult, isn't it? Because it's Christmas, and I live a million miles away.
Yeah, you don't. You live closer than I do. I'm taking it next year.
Wow,
we are going.
that's true.
Next year we are having a lads' weekend. That can be your kind of delayed stag do. We can go to the Ali Pali and darts. Did I tell you about the time I took Leslie out? I probably have told you this story before.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was the Christmas one. I thought it was another time.
No, they only do the Ali Pali at Christmas.
Because someone did like Pac-Man, didn't they?
Pac-Man. That was it. We were sat in the bleachers on the sides in the cheap seats.
Yeah.
And like it was only 20 quid a ticket. Like it wasn't expensive.
That's
and
good.
all of it, so you're looking down at the table and the tables are all set out in grids, like a grid system. All of a sudden, from these different doors run all these ghosts. Yeah, like 5 of them in ghost costumes. And they start running at random between the tables. And everyone's like, wait. And then all of a sudden, about 10 seconds later, Pac-Man comes running in and starts chasing them around the tables. And it was, I mean, there's a match going on the telly. There's two guys up there trying to win £64,000 like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah.
And there's these idiots in costumes running around these tables and everyone's going, way, way.
Can you imagine that at Wimbledon or something, Wimbledon final? This bloke's going to
just start running around.
chucking pictures of beer.
And people wonder if it should be a game or a sport. I don't know. We'll leave that up to you, listeners, to decide.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, that's my first look, Williams.
Oh, lovely. Well, because it's Christmas, well, Boxing Day, and before we enter the new year of dry January, we're going to have a bonus Thirsty First.
Way! Christmas time. Oi. Bonus Thirsty Thirst.
Happy Christmas!
Happy
Hey,
Christmas!
Happy Christmas! Well,
Is that a sprout on the cover?
So this is it's a psychedelic looking cover.
That's a sprout, that is.
It says it's a candied orange pale ale.
That sounds decent, actually.
3.4%.
Oh, yes, a proper beer. You can actually drink it without getting hammered.
I do like a candied orange, actually.
I don't like big hopes for this.
I don't like orange, but a candied peel, you know, when it's like been properly just
they're amazing.
sugarified, I would eat that.
I got big hopes for this. Although I'm not usually a fan of fruit in beer, I got big hopes for this.
No, there's no blurb that I can see.
Just crack it open and see what it's like.
A bit of psychedelic, but let's see what the sound is like. Oh. Quiet, but spillage.
More about you than the beer, though, that is.
Quite possibly. Very much a light beer, like the last one. Because it is an IPA, a candied orange. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Williams.
Oh, it's very... Oh, that smells like an orange. That smells like a orange juice, basically.
Give it a go.
Cheers.
Cheers, Wells.
Cheers. There's no...
The silence says it all.
I was expecting a bit more of a... like a sugary... but it's just a... It tastes like orange juice.
Does it? Like actual orange juice? Is there any beery flavour?
No. Like an orange juice, but not...
It looks very confused, listeners.
Imagine a pure orange juice, but watered down.
So a squash.
Yeah. With a slight fizz.
Oh, it's fizzy squash. Nice. It looks like squash, actually. Maybe that's all it is. It's just fizzy Robinsons.
Yeah, that's odd. I'll give that a
How many fingers out of 11?
Seven fingers out of 11.
So it's better than the Carol.
Yeah.
So Merry Christmas is better than Carol.
But like strange. That is I would drink that after.
So like 7 out of 11 is still about 66, 67%. Considering he's pulling a funny face.
Quite refreshing.
Pretty high. Of course, it's refreshing. It's a Robinson
I would drink
squash.
it if it was like a hot day at a game of tennis or something. I would grab a pint of this.
Do you know the best? Do you know the best alcoholic beverage on a hot day was?
What's that?
A rattler.
A rattler?
Oh, on a hot day, can't beat that. I ain't got to worry about that for 6 months though. So you go back to your own squash. You enjoy it.
Yeah. Anyways. Anyways, Boxing Day, Christmas special
Christmas.
2 for you. Look at that.
We're spoiling you, listeners. We're spoiling you.
So we're at the end of the episode. So we'll you've probably had enough Christmas cracker jokes. I would say.
Never.
A little Boxing Day joke for you. A little boxing. Mike Tyson walked into a bar.
Did he say ouch?
Another one for you. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul walked into a bar. Ouch, ouch. You got to have Boxing Day, haven't you?
You got to love Boxing Day.
Football's always good, always great on Boxing Day, isn't it? Wolves got Man United.
Man United on Boxing Day, yeah.
So both Wolves and Man United, the squad, they walked into a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
He's just say ouch 22 times.
Ouch.
It's his squad. The squad's 25. You got to say it 50 times.
Ouch, 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 ouch.
Such an idiot.
Bye. Ouch, 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 ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch.